Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. I was going to do this video talking about Inoue taking on Akhmadaliev. We are still going to talk about that fight, but there was some upsetting news that we got last night. Look, on a day of legendary boxing, some legends boxing, we lost a legend of boxing in Ricky Hitman Hatton. I always remember that Kostya versus Ricky Hatton fight. Look, a former world champion, a father. Condolences to the Hatton family and friends of Ricky Hatton. I don't want to talk about it too much. It is upsetting. 46 years of age. Like I said, a legend of the sport, and from all accounts, a very, 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 very nice person. So, condolences to the family and loved ones of Ricky Hatton. Let's talk about the boxing. Inoue taking on Akhmadaliev. Look, it wasn't a great fight. If I'm being honest, I thought Akhmadaliev offered very little to nothing in that fight. The scorecards ended up being, I think it was 118, 110, 118, 110, 117, 111, if I remember correctly. Yeah, to be honest, that means that two judges gave Akhmadaliev 2 rounds and one gave him 3 rounds. At the end of the fight, I thought this could very easily be 120, 108. I couldn't think to myself. I wasn't scoring it as we went. So if I scored it as we went, probably would have been close to that. But I thought back to myself and I thought, what round did Akhmadaliev win? Honestly, couldn't think of one. I could watch it back now and still not think he won any of those rounds. I thought it was poor. It was one of those fights where we know what Akhmadaliev offers, and that is big, powerful punches, athleticism. But the speed of Inoue and the IQ and the movement was unbelievable. It was almost a direct comparison to what we saw earlier in the day in Crawford versus Canelo. Canelo was trying to land those big shots, but Crawford was just too quick, too fast, too intelligent to get hit by any of those. And even the ones that did land, he ate them up. Akhmadaliev didn't really land many at all compared to what Canelo landed on Crawford. But for Akhmadaliev, it was getting to about the 6th or 7th round, and I was saying, you've been pieced up here. You've gotten him on the ropes a few times, and you've sort of just let him get away. I mean, he was, when they walk him down, they're walking him down, push up against the ropes, and I saw Akhmadaliev sort of trying to read the book, and then Inoue was like, he's not throwing anything, and just slipped out of the ropes and went back to the middle of the ring, and I was like, Akhmadaliev, at least throw something, show a bit of activity. I thought it was really poor. I was like, throw something, even if you miss, your options are open there. You're offering something, but he was getting there and doing nothing. At most, Inoue was just punching him back off the ropes. So I thought it was really poor. The bodywork from Inoue with that right hand was menacing. The speed of the jab, Akhmadaliev could not handle. I mean, even in the first round, Inoue, I think, threw maybe 3 jabs in a row, and one of them went straight through, and I was like, it's quick, and I don't know what Akhmadaliev's doing, but he better wake up. And unfortunately for him, he didn't wake up that whole fight, in my opinion. I thought it was, for someone that we have put a lot of praise into and saying that Akhmadaliev could be the guy to beat the monster, I've seen plenty of other opponents offer much more than what Akhmadaliev did. I know they went to a decision, so it wasn't as though Akhmadaliev got stopped like a lot of Inoue opponents did. But even that guy that he fought earlier this year that dropped him in the 2nd round, at least he offered something. He put him on the floor. I know he ended up getting knocked out in the 7th or 8th round, but he risked winning the fight and lost it. But Akhmadaliev, he didn't risk winning the fight. He didn't. He still lost it, but he risked nothing. Whereas at least that other guy, he got knocked out, but we were all talking about the fact that he dropped him and that he got close. And I think that speaks more to what Akhmadaliev threw up in that fight. I don't have the CompuBox stats, but I can't imagine Akhmadaliev threw or landed much at all. This sort of brings us on to now what's next for Inoue. Akhmadaliev, I'm not sure what he gets offered next, because he's not a huge name. He's not someone that people pay for to watch. And throwing up a performance like that is going to lower his stocks, if I'm being honest. It is going to lower them. He's going to have to build himself back up. Look, for someone that was a very, very good amateur and had a very good start to his professional career, that wasn't it. That wasn't it. I just... The problem that I had with it was he just didn't offer much at all. And I think in the end, that is the problem. You can lose a fight, but look really, really good and promising and entertaining. And that's one way to go out. Or the other way to go out is sort of like what William School did against Canelo. I mean, they're the two levels of how you can lose a fight. Akhmadaliev will move on. He'll need to get a few more wins under his belt now. He is a former champion, so, I mean, that always helps. But boxing is a money industry and an entertainment industry. And if you're not offering money or entertainment, it does get tricky sometimes. Inoue, though, he's had a fight lined up. David Picasso, he's going to take him on later this year in December. Nakatani is fighting on the undercard. I actually do have the opponent of Nakatani. If you just bear with me, I have it saved here somewhere. Nakatani will take on Sebastian Hernandez, 20-0, 18 knockouts, number 9 ranked by BoxRec. That is on the 27th of December in Riyadh. Co-maining for Naoya Inoue against someone that's very good in David Picasso. Don't get that wrong. It'll be a tough fight. We say that every time Inoue fights because Inoue doesn't shy away from whoever's next up. Inoue will take on, which I do love. There was all that talk about Akhmadaliev and Inoue ducking Akhmadaliev. Looks kind of silly now, but Inoue versus Picasso, we all expect him to get through David Picasso, even though Picasso is very good. Very good record. It is lined up, isn't it? It is lined up. We've got the two guys there, Junto and Naoya Inoue. I'm expecting... Can we just appreciate for 1 second that Inoue has fought... I think he fought in January. He fought the second fight in May, I believe. He fought this fight in September, and he's going to fight in December. That's 4 fights. That is 4 fights this year. Tell me another person that is as high level as Inoue, that sells as well as Inoue. You know, we're talking, in my opinion, probably number 3 pound for pound now. Before Crawford won yesterday, he was probably number 2, but we're going to put him as 3. Number 3 pound for pound, Japan's biggest star, Asia's biggest star, a star of boxing, and he's getting 4 fights a year. I mean, you've got to appreciate that. We've got boxers here that are sitting around, claiming they're the best in the world, claiming how good they are, getting all this money, and they're giving us 1 fight a year. I mean, you've got to appreciate that, because Inoue doesn't get the appreciation that he should, and that is because he fights in Japan and US get it at like 4 a.m. in the morning. For me in Australia, it's quite good. Like, I watched that fight last night at 9:30 p.m., so I get to watch most of his fights. This Riyadh one will be good. I am hoping that he gets the exposure that he deserves. And at, 30, 31 years of age now, Inoue has another 5, 6 years in him, depending on how long he wants to go. Undisputed in 2 divisions. Undefeated. Like, he's amazing. He's brilliant. And last night showed it. We're talking about Akhmadaliev. At that point, postured and put on a podium as the hardest test for Inoue, the boogeyman. You know, it was supposed to be very, very difficult, and Inoue ate him up. He ate him up. Look, to be honest, I don't know too much about David Picasso. I'm gonna have to watch some video on him as it gets closer, but we're gonna cover that when the time comes. That fight's coming up. But it will be skipped over. I do believe it will be skipped over a little bit. People will be looking at that fight as the setup. They'll be looking and saying, Junto won. Box checked. Inoue won. Box checked. Don't really care about the fight. Don't really care what happened in the fight because we get the fight that we want. And to be honest, I like it. I like that Junto's going to have a fight at the new weight. I like how they're going to be on the same card, exposed in Riyadh, because I do believe that the fight that's going to be between Naoya Inoue and Junto will be at that Japan Tokyo Dome, which means it's going to be on at 4 a.m. And if they can at least get 2 knockouts, really perform, hype that fight up in Riyadh so the Americans see it, the English see it, everybody in the world sees it, they might be able to sell it a bit better when it comes to that time. Look, they're going to sell out that stadium in Tokyo. The Japanese, well, I think the Asian market will go crazy for it. And it's a fight that they deserve to get. I think it'll be unbelievable. It deserves to be in Japan. It would have taken away from it if the ring had told them they have to do it in Riyadh or they had to do it in England. To have it in Japan is amazing. I mean, we've seen that Beterbiev and Bivol wanted to do a fight in Russia. Obviously, Bivol's gotten injured, but they were granted that allowance to do it in Russia. And I think it's good for the sport. It's good for these cultures and different nationalities to be able to, when they become champion, when they become top of the world, be able to take those belts and fight them in their home country in front of their home fans. I never like it when someone's forced to fight somewhere where they're probably not going to get the appreciation, they're not going to get the crowd, and they're not going to get the love from their home fans. Because we have seen it. But sometimes logistically, it's the only way to do it. You know, if you're paying Alexander Usyk $160 million to fight, it's basically got to be in London. You got to get that Wembley crowd. You got to get the London Hotspur Stadium full, you know, to ticket sales, gate prices, and everything else. I believe that fight yesterday between Canelo and Crawford did 42 million gate. So you can see where the money is. If Usyk fights in Ukraine, unfortunately, the crowd will be there, but the money, I don't believe, would. Economically speaking, I don't think it would produce the money. So, look, a good day of fighting for Inoue. I would have liked to have seen him tested a little bit more. I thought Akhmadaliev had something to offer, but I think the lack of activity was what really hurt him in that fight. I think, and Akhmadaliev at round 6, round 7 realizes, fuck, I'm really, really behind this fight now. I'm going to need a knockout. I'm going to go out there every single round and risk getting knocked out so I can get close enough and just pile on the pressure. That was the Akhmadaliev I expected to see. And unfortunately, we saw one that just got picked off really, really, really easily. And to be honest, I say picked off. I would still argue that Inoue landed the heavier power shots and the better power shots to the body and the head throughout that fight. And that should have been what Akhmadaliev was landing. Yep, the activity might have been less, but the power would have been there. And unfortunately for Akhmadaliev, neither was there. So leave all your thoughts in the comments below about what we talked about today. Make sure you subscribe to the channel. I'm filming this video, and then I'm filming 1 or 2 more straight after it. So make sure you stay tuned, watch all the videos. We're talking about all the boxing action, like I said, in all the videos. Leave your thoughts in the comments. I love engaging with the community. We're at nearly 130 subscribers, which I'm very happy with. I'm very happy with each and every one of you that take your time to watch these videos. I'm eternally grateful for. So stay tuned, guys, because more and more videos coming out every single day, and the more subscribers we get, the better content I can make. I have some big ideas that I want to make happen, but without your support, unfortunately, I can't. So like, subscribe, and I'm out of here, guys. See yous.